I'm here with Beadwork Magazine Stitch Pro Jean Campbell, and Jean is going to show us how to make herringbone beads. What a great technique. I love this, Jean.
This is a really easy technique. It's a good one to know, to have in your stitch arsenal.
Definitely.
And it's really easy. So let's get started.
Okay.
You're gonna start with, I'm using size 8 beads, and you wanna do a row of ladder stitch. To do ladder stitch, I've started this, but it's a really simple technique. You pick up a bead and stitch it onto the last one.
And this is a common foundation stitch for all kinds of beadwork.
And you can go online and find how to do this. It's a very common stitch.
Yeah, and we'll have the instructions on our site.
Sure. So when you stitch it, you just want the sides of the beads to touch. Now I want to turn this into a ring. So I'm going to put the first and last beads together. Find my needle here.
And so this is how you would start. You're starting a herringbone bead, but you would use the same technique to make a rope, right?
That's correct. That's correct. So I'm going to pass through the first bead in that row and then the one I just added to make a ring.
All right.
Okay, so this is ladder stitch round, and this is, you need to have a base for herringbone stitch, and this is a really easy way to do it. So now that I've got my ring, I'm going to pick up two, oh, and I need to say, this ring needs to be an even number. That's really important.
Okay.
So I'm going to pick up two size 8 beads, and I'm going to pass down through this next bead in the ring, and pull tight and pass up through the following one. You see how these beads kind of sit at angles?
Yes.
That's the classic, that's why it's called herringbone stitch.
Because it creates that,
it's like
diagonal.
a chevron. Yep, yep. So I'm going to just do that all the way around. Pass up through the next one.
Yeah, the first time that I tried this, I thought that was kind of magical. The part where they just sort of pop and tilt that way, creating that pattern. And you can do it with different colors so that you create stripes and all kinds of things.
What happens is you're making these little columns, little chevron columns. On this last stitch, so I made this last stitch, I need to step up so I can start the next round. And I'm going to pass up through both the bottom and top bead. It's kind of like taking the stairs up.
And you'll see that it zips right together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So when I do the next round, I'll pick up 2, and I'm just going to pass down through the next bead, not go down the whole column.
So you only pass through the whole column when you are finishing a round? Or just for this?
Right. And then pass up through like that. You see?
Got it, yeah.
So you'll do that all the way around. I've done 8 beads in a circle and 11 rows long in this bead. Mm-hmm. But this is the cool part. If this bead was done with all these silver size 8s. But I use these pretty Baroque beads here, size 6s, and it makes a completely different looking beaded bead.
Oh yeah, what an easy way to change it up.
Really easy. These are done with delicas. Super easy, but see how different they all look and how they could make different ropes, different beaded beads, different
Same
flavors.
Technique, just change the beads.
Yep, 8 around, 11 long. If you really want to
get crazy,
really change it up and do stripes. You could do vertical stripes like this, horizontal stripes like this. For the next one over here, I've used the long magatamas and done a spiral. Again, it's just 8 beads around, 11
beads
rows.
long.
Yep. I incorporated the Baroque beads on that big one there. Mm-hmm. And then in these, I've done big to small to big, or small to big to small. And you can play, you know, with different accent beads and different colors, and it's
Sure.
a fun technique, and you can incorporate it into jewelry so easily.
Oh, well, let's take a look at your necklace. But I do want to ask you, you could definitely do this with varying rows too. You showed us how to do 11 rows, but you could just continue to make beads as long as you want.
Yeah, you could, or short. You could make little spacer beads, or yeah, anything. It's an easy technique.
Well, I love the necklace. This is really pretty. And it's one of my favorite color palettes. Those muted tones go with everything.
Yes, it does. It does. So an easy technique, really versatile, something everybody who stitches should know.
Oh, well, let's take a close look at the beaded bead before we go, because I like the way you combine the shiny finish with the matte. And that's something we've been talking a lot about, is combining those different surfaces. It looks so pretty.
We have so many beads in our stashes that we really should use every different color, flavor, finish. And this is a great opportunity to do it.
Oh yeah, I love it. Thank you so much, Jean.
Thanks for having me.
And we will be right back.